You know how they say, like water, my friend. Imagine if we just didn't know what I meant there when they say, oh, when they say, like water, my friend. Well, the nature of water. You can pour it into a teacup and it turns into a teacup. Pour it into a pot and it becomes the pot, So it's the nature of water, what we're looking at. Be like that. Be adaptable. Be, sometimes it can crash or it can be soft, It could be hard, it could be soft. Anyway, the narcissist doesn't have that quality at all. And so, which is, if you really want to tap into that, like, what is that? Like water. Love water, right? As the analogy, and it's already here. I'm not making this up. The analogy for looking at true intelligence in a human being. So there's the metaphor that we use. I use that as quote unquote like the elevator going all the way to the top. Well, how does the water begin to elevate at all? Well, it has to fill in every single depth possible. That's what water does. That's its nature. The narcissist doesn't have that nature, that intelligence. So then the elevator just isn't going to go all the way to the top. So there's also that adaptability thing that's just not there. The inner geometry is, if not upside down and backwards, it's just it's off. So it's not in alignment. Some of it can be literally physically. Others, most of it, which is the anomaly that we are complaining about, because they could appear very perfect physically, too perfect, as a matter of fact. So we're getting back to the subject of water, but I didn't want to lose my subject of talking about that too perfect robot kind of thing that stakes out. In the narcissist, something a little off and too non-human, yeah. Something missing, it'll make you feel strange, and never ignore that, never ignore it. So, because, that intelligence, it's not really there. There isn't anybody home, I guess you could say it like that. But, you see, didn't want to get caught doing that, talking about narcissists, but since that water quality isn't there, what is that quality there? It's adaptability, it's true intelligence, it's ever moving. Sorry, I lost my place for a moment there. I'm actually going through some, it's a situationship that I just do not appreciate. That's a long story as to like how that's what the non-human occupation is liable to. That's why you don't want to get involved with them. They're not relating. It's a situating, I guess. And poor things, they don't know anything else, any deeper or any more lighter, really, is really what we want to say, because we know that there's a lot of depth. That's what they don't have, is that depth thing. Not apt to do the work. Anyway, God, what I really wanted to talk about is that water quality, the metaphor on how it helps us see that know, since the narcissist doesn't have that, so they don't have the ability to change, for one. You know, water is ever changing. We can look at it like this. It's never settled down, and not in a negative way. I'm saying that it's alive, right? It's always alive and moving. It's you could say if that's the way awareness was, that's the way it would be. It's moving to the sound in the room. It's really taking on shape and whatever the sound is. And thanks for listening to this. I'm not happy with my situationship at all, and I think it's going to be okay. It's just that when you start relying on them, this is another thing I was going to share. Everybody knows this, but it's a drain. You know, life is hard enough, and then when you have a narcissist in your life, uh, it's a fucking drag. It's a drag. It's a drain. It's a you know, because that liveliness isn't there. You know, they are, and some of them we might suspect, and it's a terrible thought. You know, I like to remain kind of more on the naive side, but I've picked up that people like to fuck with each other. That's just the way they live. See how I stuttered like that? It's because I don't want anything to do with it, and I keep, you know, I'm kind of alone enough, and there's like a storm. It's like, fuck, man. It's enough for a lot of people to stay away, but still, like I said, I'm involved in this situationship, and it has to do with my my lifestyle, the comfort of my life, and man, I'm not sure how I'm gonna. There's one blind side of, say, my mind says, I'm not sure how I'm going to get out of this. You know, there's this and this and this and this and this and this, and I got to do that first, and then this, and that's not going, never done that, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, love. Love gets her done, baby. Love does it. That's the more intelligent thing. And I'm learning, and I'm being prepared. I'm ready. I can get into my astrology, and it's like when you're ready and it's going to come whether you know it, like it or not. You know how the saying goes, like you're going to go through shit, but it's going to come it's going to come because, I mean, that's what you had to be prepared for. And it's like, don't give the narcissist that. You know what I mean? Really, it's not that. For me, man, I can't believe it. I mean, really, really, I think it's looking like, and I don't want to say anything here, so I won't. Just thanks for listening to this particular thing. You know, I wanted to stress how I never really been in a hardcore situation where, man, and this is getting hardcore because it's kind of happening, and I don't know this. I don't like it. I don't like it. I want out from under it, and it makes me. Oh God, sorry, I didn't say anything about what it is, but it's finances, financially, right? We need help sometimes. The thing is I have nobody, and see, this is the thing. Okay, so isn't this weird? This person has Cash App and other Vimeo or whatever. See, this is the thing, is they're not the only one. There's this other person that I was, you know, these people I associate with. I mean, what little, I mean, I noticed, like, okay, but I don't know if they're narcissists or if they're worse, if they are sociopaths slash like psychos. Because I remember this one person, we don't associate anymore. But you know, they have a certain look to them. Fisheye. I call it the fisheye look. I coined that a while ago, like my own self. Like, hey, you know those people where it's like, what are you looking at? Are you look? It's just um, a fisheye. You know, they could be smiling, but their eyes aren't. Well, this person kind of went around and around, you know, and I'm trying to be a good friend as much as I can, but it's like, no, you can't be a person. You can't be a human around them. This is what I meant to say. Not a person. I mean, a human. You can't say, you just can't say, I really need to talk about this situation. I don't understand it. It's making me feel like a certain way. I don't know why I can't be heard. I feel like it's all on me. They start to back away with all that. Like, and I'm wondering what the fuck. I'm just curious. Aries thinking, what is going through what is it going through their minds? I mean, don't they have anything to add to it? Because of, like, I will sit, I don't know. People are not witnessing me, and what's scary for me, babes, is that I'm not being, I'm not racking up any, like, good witness to my account. Not really. It's so, it's weird. It's like usually I have a ring where, right, and I didn't mean a ring. I mean, people are saying, no, no, Shauna done all right with me. You know what I mean? It seems like, okay, so here's where that, okay, I usually had a job where I go hit a time clock, I work, 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 and then I have, okay, so I'm renting a house. I was renting a house, and then you have friends, you have an interest, right? You say, oh, well, I'm gonna go play some music, and you go play music, and then or whatever, and you have these so-called people that you're trying to work with the truth with, between who knows what they're doing. Really, they have egos. I mean, talk about the rabbit hole. But my point is that's the way I knew it. Where, okay, so I just had my finances together. And then I kind of like, yes, I chose my friends, which is not always a good thing to say to do. That's kind of narcissistic. It's like, oh God, did you really get along then? Did they fit in your little hole? Even though they were playing music, it wasn't like they were musical. They were very egoic. I mean, good for you. Good for you. You have some kind of lifestyle that fuels, that gives you enough money to give you a fucking a $30,000 studio or whatever, and you really aren't putting anything out with any good soul that any kid. It's just, I don't know. I'm sorry, because good for you, much more accomplished. Not really, not as far as inspiration. I don't know. What are people doing? I don't know. I'm just here to have a good time. I shouldn't judge them. Do they? It's a story that I could write a book about. I don't want to fucking get all clogged up here, but God, how long is this video now? I just want to do no, the drag of narcissism. I mean, if you really knew who I was, we kind of get older and get all fucked up, right, from being our good old beautiful selves. Why? Because people see that you could be actually a good old beautiful self. You could be just kind of clear. You could be fresh still and new and naive or whatever. And the narcissist moves right in on that, right? They just want to fucking dirty you up, right? They want to fucking get you all like them. That's the term coined in psychology is colonize. They want to colonize your mind. So what have they done? Well, I have an entire playlist. It colonized on my fucking YouTube here because, well, every time I say something about narcissists and stuff, that I record it. And the thing is I don't know what I'm gonna do with my situation. It's not a relationship at all. I don't have any. I am struggling in a place where I don't think there's very many human beings around me. It's the non-human occupation, which is just purely mental. They think their lives you are it's just, you should think with me on this, what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is the truth. The problem is the reason why you had subscribed. I get 3 subscribers every day because of one single video out of 520 videos. And that is the gift giving narcissist. It's a 14-minute video that the reason why it's attracting, it's still attracting. If I would have just left it there, it would attract like 60 a day, I'm sure, because maybe the algorithms or something, or more people would subscribe than less when they see my other wide range of other things going on and how very stable I am. I don't care. I really don't. I'm starting to go through a little bit of self-consciousness having gotten those subscribers, but it's like, it's not my fault that that happened. Really, I mean, I've made other really good videos. I think a lot of them. The reason why I put them on, um, since I've been distracted, ladies and gentlemen, with narcissists in my life, a situationship. They they couldn't get in a relationship with me, so they got into a situationship with me, and now it's hanging in the balance. I mean, God, here I am relying on this person, and that's what you shouldn't do. They could kill you. It could be they think your life is a game, and it's that serious where they want you. It's so strange because Sam Vaknin says it's a natural thing in them. It's not that for the narcissist, they're not trying to be this way. They're just naturally the low life frequency of the game that they play. The way that I never got involved with it until I got vulnerable, and then there's a situationship that they moved in on. My situation, and I weighed it out, and I noticed, just it's none of anybody's business, but I've always done this in general throughout my life. Is I've always just really pay attention to what you're doing when you get involved with people, right? And I don't know, this was a very interesting study. I could say, hey, hello Neptune on my Venus. Since last February and even before then, just I was okay until I lost okay, I was trying to tell you about how I went to go punch a clock, making money, and then I would get off work, and then it'll be like, all right, and then especially, okay, so everybody had a window, Friday, which never worked for me. It didn't. You do not play if you're playing music and you think you guys are artists and you're going to make something work, when I want to make something with my music, you live with each other. You play every day. There isn't anything that you can think of. It's like, well, before we eat, can we do it? Okay, but after 2, you know what I'm saying? That's what Led Zeppelin does. That's what the Beatles do, and that's what I would do. This is my life. I've been playing music since the age 4. Okay, so if it's not that, then what is it? It's something else. Okay, what is it? Good God. I'm going to be doing that differently, too. I'm going to be doing everything differently for the world and bumping it back out and say, this is the real use for it, by the way. So fucking hard because I'm working with nothing. No support. No support. What do you think a leader has? Well, I think a leader, if you look at an arrow at the very tip, there is a tail. There is some, what is it, a follower? I don't know, but whatever they are, they're little feathers that they kind of do a little direction thing. So, here I see, it's like, well, some people are trying to be that for me. It's like, well, good for you, yes. I understand that, but, I've worked alone a lot, too. I've only gotten to where I've gotten alone, and we ain't getting anywhere here. Getting back to this horrific thing that I'm going through, and I think that if I don't make it a worldwide thing, if I just don't make it, like, if I just don't, you have to, you just have to just say, well, let's get back to this shitty fucking society of non-human beings that operate in such a way that they just leave you hanging, and they're plugging into it. They're doing, it's like, okay, so if it's intentional, it's black magic. Because instead of communicating, they don't communicate. That's what satanic fucking people do. We're waiting for a human connection, and it's not really there. And then they give you a little feed, and then they pounce on you. This is fucked up for me, man. I'm fucking asking for fucking support away from narcissistic abuse, babes. And I know it's ridiculous to keep doing this here and anywhere. My answer is coming. It's coming. It's slow coming, and I'm thinking, this is terrible. It's not a good thing to think. See, this is fucking 20 minutes. These assholes in my life, they have Cash App and shit like this. They don't want to bother to get on. They don't think to try and help me, Shauna. Let's look and see. What do you mean? So you can only do it. You can't just keep trying to get on Cash App because they say, no, you can do this in 2 more weeks now. You know what I mean? They tell you can't do this over. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever ran into it where they just say, sorry, try again in another month? Because because criminals could be trying to get in there and hack and do things. So that's what I get a little bit sometimes. You know, I just need help with this thing on my computer. I'm sure somebody else knows. Fucking some fuckface over there in Oregon says, "Excuse me, I'm not in a good mood. Not really impressed with people who aren't really in my life. And I have nobody. I have nobody. The hooking up with people over Facebook with people, and the vain affection that goes on over there, even if they are people that we've known, especially hooking up with the people from the past, babe. If we aren't in each other's lives now, there's a reason why we aren't, and we aren't going to be, and we just aren't. You're not. You're not. And when is humanity going to get fucking absolutely fucking pissed and say, you know what? And I think people do one by one. And this is where I'm at. I'm should have been done a long time ago. It's like, you know what? I don't care about you. You're not paying my bills. It's not one of the shittiest fucking sayings you've ever heard in your life. The philosophy by the fucking dog piece of shit narcissistic society that says, why should I care about you or what you think because you're not paying my bills or anything, or I shouldn't even give you the time of day because you're not paying. You don't have anything, I shouldn't care at all about you because you're not paying my bills. Oh, okay. So getting back to me having had a job, like one time I had a job, it was back at the clay department over there. Whatever. It's a place where I made a bunch of chimes. A place where I worked up here for a span of 12 years. I put time in there. On and off. Okay, I worked for a long time, for many years, and I stopped and I went back on. 12 years complete, I worked there. At one point, I worked for $15 an hour, 8 hours a day. So I had this job, and it was Friday. We go play music. Not enough. It's like, well, can we do it on Sunday too? Maybe. I would rather do it every day. So, but there was that, right? And you have people, and guess what? Okay, so there was at one point I had 3 jobs. Well, now somebody comes. Who was it? A narcissist? Was he? Must have been. Must have been a user that I just didn't notice. I just didn't notice. I didn't. Would you care? See, this is the thing. Is it's like, okay, so when you're the sunshine, and here I have 3 jobs, or I have this $15 an hour job, and I'm renting a house, and I moved. I even got I had a shitty place, and then I got a better place. And the whole time, I have this guy. He's kind of just following me around, I guess. But no, he would just come and stay, stray cat, I guess. But no, he was of help. He was enough help, and he was a good enough friend of mine that we hung on to each other. We were good friends. We had a lot of experiences. So I'll say it again. I've said it in other videos. I'm about to wrap this fucking piece of shit fucking video up. Piece of shit. Chiron and in the sky and excuse my language. I guess I shouldn't say that because I've said worse things on this stupid fucking thing. I'm getting more, like I said, why am I getting self-conscious? Well, it's one video that got me those fucking, so please, you know what I mean? Now I got like a bunch of dislikers. It's like, you know what, get out of here. All that does really as far as energy is that you're giving me more talent. It's like, okay, I know that 2 more people saw it. That's all. I can't switch it over to say, oh, just stab me in the heart with your dislike. What it really is just a tally. It says, rah, rah. There's a crowd there. That's all. It's just energy. That's all. And that's what you're doing, too. If you're just judging energy, the haters. Really? Oh, my God. If I see like 20 likes on my cat video and then 1 dislike, you know what you are, dude? Or girl, or whatever you are? You're called a hater. You're just a hater. I mean, how could you dislike somebody's innocent video or a piece of art or anything? Really, you're just a hater. I don't know if I can get out of here. Back to my suffering. Everybody's suffering. God, it's terrible. I was on. The weather isn't anything. It's just being in this bind of financially. I have food now, and I'm hoping to God that it's just like all I need is just like a little fucking. A little job. And so getting back to, okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm not going to tell you about my mom. My mom, she told me, because she's somebody who has navigated through toxic ass fucking people as well as fucking somebody who was beating on her and just said, nope, get out of my house. And just boom. And she searched for love. And she told me, she would say, somehow I would remember that she would say this. And this is meant for healthy people only, because otherwise narcissists don't know it feels good. If they leave you feeling good, then you can overlook a lot of flaws. So that's what I had with the 14-year relationship that was up here. Amazing. I worked with him. We worked together. We learned so much about each other. He learned from me. I learned from him. I miss him so much. He was shot and killed. Otherwise, he would be here. And anyway, don't want to cry about that. But I think it's possible for me again, but on a completely different level. I'm a completely different person. And it's not anybody's business. You're gonna lose my mojo on that. But really, yeah, that's what that's what I get. That's what the narcissist. This particular situation, I'm feeling that it's too late. I mean, that our cycle is over as far as how that I tried to. I think it was a long time ago. It's like, okay, so okay, well, take care of your situation and call me in a couple years. I don't know the fucking towel, the fucking the mixed up shit that's going on out there. In the meantime, fuck, man, I can't believe my lights are still going. They are. I've had the help center help me twice with my electricity. There's still this one possibility. What a shitty fucking video. God damn this piece of shit.